Planting tomatoes and eggs go great together. At least that's what the internet says. Is this a good idea? When you plant your tomato, dig a hole, take a raw egg and put it in the bottom of that hole, add a little soil, plant your tomato. The egg is full of nutrients that will feed your plant. Now you can break the egg or you can leave it whole. Both methods are recommended. Now I don't think that's the best way to plant tomatoes with eggs. Let me show you a much better way. First, take your egg and boil it. Then peel it. Now take some mustard and put it on top. That's a great egg. Now go in the garden and plant your tomatoes. All right, I'm having a little bit of fun with you. Back to this idea of putting a raw egg in the planting hole for tomatoes or any other kind of plant. I even see this recommendation for potatoes. Is it a good idea? It's a really dumb idea. If you thought that this might be a good idea, keep watching because you'll learn something really important about feeding plants. So why is this a dumb idea? The first reason is that raw eggs tend to attract animals. Rodents like rats love eggs. And then there's the raccoons and skunks. They'll come and dig this up and destroy your plants. In fact, just today I heard from someone who had a problem with their neighbor using eggs, and they had a fox come through and rip up everybody's garden looking for these eggs. The second reason it's a dumb idea is that rotting eggs stink. And after a few weeks, you won't want to go in your garden. Now, some people say that the egg has a lot of calcium in the shell, and that's good for tomatoes, right? That stops blossom end rot. Well, it turns out that this shell will take many, many years to decompose in soil. In fact, archaeologists find these after 50 years still in the soil. Now, if you have extremely acidic soil, the egg does decompose. But in most gardens, it simply doesn't decompose. It breaks up into small pieces so you no longer see the eggshell. But eggshells do not add anything for plants. Here's the final reason why this is a dumb idea. If I take this raw egg and open it up and dump it in a compost pile, this is a hot composting pile. It will take a couple months for it to decompose. And when I have finished compost, it will slowly release nutrients for another 5 years. It is true that this egg contains a lot of nutrients that plants could use, but they're tied up in large organic molecules. So the nutrients in this egg can't be used by plants until they're decomposed. And that's a very slow process. If I dump this raw egg in a planting hole, you might be feeding next year's plants, but not this year's plant. So this does nothing to grow tomatoes this year. Stop believing silly ideas on the internet. When you go to plant your tomatoes, dig a hole, and if you want to put something in there, use some compost or fertilizer. That's all the plant needs. Now, if you want to know more about gardening myths, have a look at my 2 books, Gardening Myths, Book 1 and Book 2, and I'll put a link to those right here. And if you'd like to see more garden myth videos, I'll put a link to that in the top right-hand corner. Happy gardening.